You have spent years trying to protect yourself from the wrong person. I have been sitting on this for a while. And today I am giving you 7 reasons, 7 specific, uncomfortable, completely undeniable reasons, why the most dangerous person in your life has always been you. Not your mother. Not your ex. Not the friend who smiled at your funeral while you were still alive. You. Now I am going to count them down for you. And I need you to know right now that number 4 specifically, is the one that is going to make you sit back and go quiet. Not sad. Not angry. Quiet. The specific quiet of someone who just got caught. Do not go anywhere. But first, let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. A woman I know turned 72 last spring. Her children threw her a party. Balloons, a cake, the grandchildren running around in the garden. Beautiful afternoon. And at some point somebody asked her, just casually, the way people do at parties, what is the one thing you wish you had done differently? She did not hesitate. She said, I wish I had stopped waiting for people to apologize. The room went a little quiet. Someone changed the subject. But I kept thinking about it. Because she did not say she wished she had traveled more. She did not say she wished she had married someone else. She said she had spent decades, holding her life hostage to a conversation that was never coming. The people she was waiting on had moved on. Some of them had died. And she had waited anyway. Quietly. Politely. Completely alone in a room full of people who loved her. That is what I want to talk about today. Welcome to Diary After 50. I am Gloria. If you are new here, you picked the day. If you have been here since part 1, you already know this one was always going to be the hard one. Get comfortable. Let us go. Reason 1. You have confused loyalty with self-destruction and called it love. You stayed. You always stayed. When the job was draining you, when the friendship was one-sided, when the relationship had been empty for 11 years and you both knew it. You stayed because leaving felt selfish and staying felt noble. But nobility that costs you your one life is not noble. It is just loss with better branding. Reason 2. You made your pain your personality and then wondered why you kept attracting more of it. This one is subtle, so stay with me. When suffering becomes the most interesting thing about you, when your story is always about what was done to you and what you survived and how hard it has been, you start to need it. Not consciously. But you need it because without it you do not know who you are. And so you find it. Everywhere. In people who do not mean harm. In situations that are actually fine. You find it because it is familiar and familiar feels like home even when home was never safe. Reason 3. You have been postponing your real life until conditions are perfect, and conditions are never going to be perfect. You were going to start after the children left. After the divorce was finalized. After things settled down. After you felt ready. And here is what nobody told you about ready. Ready is not a feeling that arrives. Ready is a decision you make in the middle of being terrified. You have been waiting at a bus stop for a bus that was never on the schedule. Reason 4. And here it is. The one I told you to wait for. You already knew. You have always known. Every single thing I have said in this video, every pattern, every habit, every quiet way you have been standing in your own way, none of it is new information. You have felt it. You have caught glimpses of it at 3 in the morning when you could not sleep. You have seen it in the mirror after a conversation that went wrong again in the same way it always goes wrong. You have known. And you kept going anyway. Not because you are weak. But because knowing something and being ready to change it are two completely different countries with no direct flight between them. That is the one that makes people go quiet. Not because it is cruel. Because it is true. And you cannot unknow a thing you have already known. Reason 5. You have been more committed to your explanation than to your life. You have a very good explanation for everything. Why it did not work. Why it went wrong. Why this happened and that fell apart and the other thing never got off the ground. The explanation is usually about something outside you. And the explanation is not even wrong. Other people did do things. Circumstances were real. But the explanation has become more important than the question underneath it, which is, now what? You keep polishing the explanation. Turning it over. Making it more precise. And while you are doing that, the now what just sits there unanswered. Reason 6. You have shrunk yourself so many times you have forgotten what your full size looks like. Not overnight. Over years. Small compressions. You stopped mentioning the thing you wanted because someone reacted badly once. You stopped dressing the way you actually wanted because a comment landed wrong in 1987 and somehow you are still dressed for that comment. You made yourself quieter, smaller, more manageable. And then somewhere along the way you looked up and the person looking back in the mirror was a more careful, more cautious, more diminished version of someone who used to take up space without apologizing for it. You did that. No villain required. Reason 7. You have been waiting for permission that nobody alive can give you. Permission to take up space. Permission to want what you want at this age. Permission to start over, to be difficult, to say no, to change your mind, to stop explaining yourself to people who were never going to understand anyway. You have been waiting for someone, a parent, a partner, a version of yourself that felt more deserving, to finally say yes, go ahead, you have earned it. Nobody is coming to say it. And the longer you wait, the more of your life gets spent in the waiting room. I am not going to tell you that awareness changes everything. Sometimes it does not. Sometimes you know every single thing I just said and you wake up tomorrow and do the exact same thing you have always done because change is harder than knowledge and life is not a YouTube video with a clean ending. What I will tell you is this. That woman at the birthday party. The one who wished she had stopped waiting for an apology. When I think about her, I do not feel sad for her. I feel something more uncomfortable than that. I feel like I recognize her. And I think maybe you do too. Now. I need to say one more thing before you go. Something is coming to this channel that has nothing to do with pain or patterns or any of the heavy things we talk about in here. I am not going to tell you what it is yet. But it involves older women. It involves style. And it is going to be the most fun I have had on this channel since I started it. If you are not subscribed yet, now would be the time. Because you do not want to miss what is coming next. I am Gloria. This has been Diary After 50. And I will see you in the next one.